what was the most significant award for you have ever received? You have received numerous, I'm sure, but what was the most significant award?
Yes, I have received many, many awards, which, Olga, it's a beautiful thing for people to acknowledge you while you're still alive and to, make tributes and give you awards. But there was one special award which it'll always remain as one of, I have two of them, but one of them that's very special was on the year 2000, Tito Puente passed away, and in the Puerto Rico Salsa Congress, they were giving every year this special award, which was named after a famous dancer from the Palladium, Anibal Vasquez. He was one of the Mambo aces from the time of the Palladium, very famous team, beautiful dance team, and they would have this award under his name and they would present it to people. So I remember one year they were going to present this award to Tito Puente, and it was the year that he passed away. And I remember that I got a phone call from the promoter from the Congress of Puerto Rico. His name is Elizade. Elizade, yeah. Eli Elizade. And he called me up. He says, Eddie, now that Tito passed away at the Congress this year in Puerto Rico, we're going to present an award that we were going to give to Tito, but since he's no longer here, we're going to present it to you. And I told him quickly, I says, Ellie, listen, I'm honored, but you know what? I think you should call his family up and present that award to his family, to his son or to his wife. And he says, we already spoke to them and they told us that the one they felt that should receive that award should be you. And that really touched me in such a way that I don't even have words to tell you how I felt when I went to Puerto Rico and I received that award, knowing that it was going to be presented to Tito Puente, and I still have it here. I don't know if you have a picture of it there, but that was a very, very special award, and also an award that I received because when people ask me as a professional dancer, who was the one that inspired you in the professional world of dancing? And I would have to say it's always been Augie and Margot, because Augie and Margot were social dancers who at one point decided to become professionals, and they left the Palladium dance scene, went out and started studying ballet and jazz and flamenco, and became professional dancers and started traveling around the world. They performed for like 2 or 3 presidents. They were the opening act for a famous actor named Sammy Davis Jr. They were really well known. They were on all the big TV programs. And so one day I got a phone call from Billy Fajardo, which was Augie's cousin, Billy Fajardo, the hustle dancer. And he says, Eddie, this year we're going to, and Augie's going to present it to you himself, the Augie and Margot Award. And that for me was so special too, because again, this was the team that truly inspired me when I first saw them performing with Tito Puente to pursue this dance career that I've had. So that's another very, very special award. And then again, I've received awards from, yes, that's Augie and Margot. Beautiful.
Oh my God,
yeah, beautiful.
yeah.
Oh my God. And I saw them perform this number on stage with Tito. They were mambo dancers from the Palladium, but they went and studied ballet, they studied flamenco, they studied jazz to form this act that they would do. So they went out and got training, which is another thing I tell dancers, hey, if you want to really accomplish a lot in your dance career, start very young and try to learn the classic structures of dance like ballet and jazz and these dances that will help you. Because as you know, Olga, today, the Latin dance that we call salsa or mambo is not just typical traditional mambo dancing. It's a fusion of today of ballet, jazz, flamenco, you name it, African, Cuban, it's all mixed. So I always tell people, if I can go back and start all over again, yes. If there were teachers like we have today, I would have spent many years in the classes of all these different teachers studying hip hop, flamenco, jazz, tap dancing, all the dances that I really admired. African dancing, for example. So today you have that, and today's youth, they have the privilege of having what we did not have back in the 60s.
Yes. Yes. I also want to thank the Puente family, because not only did Tito Puente took us in, especially Eddie, Tito Puente to Eddie was like a father mentor. And he protected us, show us many things, how to be professionals. And we were always professionals at one time. The costume was always in mint order. I want to thank the Puente family because they took us in as part of the family. So we're honored that we speak to Margie every now and then. We see Audrey Puente on TV all the time, Tito Jr., his son Ronnie. And we're honored that the Puente family has embraced us also as family.
By the way, before I forget, Olga, they're doing right now, there's a very famous actor named Edward James Olmos, and the article came out a few months back that they are now preparing to do special TV. They're going to do what they call tributes to Tito, and they're going to do documentaries on his life, which I've always thought since the year Tito passed away, I said, they haven't done enough. They haven't done enough to show and to give recognition and to give homage to this man who has done so much for all of us in the dance and the music and in the dance world, because Tito loved to dance. He was a great dancer. And he always used to say that dance and music were a marriage, that they had to be together. So from the very beginning, when Maria and I started working with him, he would always tell the people, said, listen, I said, Eddie and Maria are dance teachers, and they're helping keeping this dance alive. And what you should do is send your children to their classes so they could learn, so we could try to keep, along with the music, we could try to keep the dancing alive. Okay? So that's why I say that today I'm always asking all the young artists and all the great dancers around the world, do whatever you're going to do with all your might and with all your love, but please keep this dance alive. Don't let mambo dancing, because I like to call it the original name, don't let it die. Don't let it one day become something of the past. Because why? Because it's too beautiful.
Which country impressed you the most? And what is your dream place maybe you still dream of visiting?
Yeah, that's a hard question, okay? I'll tell you why. Because one of the countries that I love visiting is Italy, okay? I have a lot of friends in Italy, and I've been there many times since 1994, I believe I started traveling to Italy. But I don't want any other country to get jealous, because I've had a good time everywhere. Spain, Italy. I've been to St. Petersburg in Russia 2 times. I mean, I've had marvelous, amazing experiences almost everywhere I have gone. So
Poland.
Oh yes, I've been to Poland, the Warsaw Congresses. I've been to Zurich, amazing. I went to Sao Paulo in Brazil, Japan. I've been to Japan, Hong Kong, and I've had a wonderful time. So it's hard for me to say I have a favorite, but I would have to say Italy is right up there because I've visited Italy so many times.
And because of the cuisine.
Oh, I was just gonna say, one of the things that stole my heart in Italy was not only the great food they have, but the great coffee. I'm a great lover of coffee, and when I started drinking Italian coffee, I always said, Italy has, for me, one of the best coffees in the world that I've ever tasted. They call me Eddie Cappuccino in Italy, okay, Olga? So that tells you something. But yeah, but it's been all the places I've gone. I've had wonderful memories, and I really thank God that I've had the privilege to visit. Maria has stayed home a lot when I started traveling because she wanted to take care of the family, of the kids, of the school. And of course, I tell her whenever I've traveled, I said, Mommy, I wish you would have been with me because some of these countries are so beautiful, and there's nothing like sharing an experience in these places with someone that you love.
But it also made it easier for him because when I had to take care of my dad, doctors gave me 1 year for my dad. He lasted 5.5 years with me. A month later, his mother got sick. So he was torn between his mom, and he's the only one left, and traveling. And his mother was the one who said, listen, you make commitments, you go do what you need to do, leave me alone. And I told Eddie, says, no, to give you peace, I'll stay behind. I watch over your mom. I watch over our kids, do whatever I need to, and also keep the studio open. But to give him peace of mind, I took on to take care of his mom for about 12 years before she passed.
Amen. Amen.
And now my mother, I'm taking care of my mom.
Olga, just so you know that you happen to pick up on one of the choreographies that I really love because it's special, and you say you can't stop watching it.
Yes.
I had said my dance is born from the joy and the pain of my life, because in my youth, I remember in my family we had a lot of problems. We had a very what they call dysfunctional family. There was always fights. I only had one brother and one sister from my mother and father, and they both had very terrible lives. My sister, she committed suicide at the age of 28, Olga, and my brother got lost in heroin drugs since he was very young. So you could only imagine the heartache that my mother lived with all her life. And as a person who I wanted to enjoy both of them, I never had the opportunity to enjoy them as I would have loved to, as brothers and sisters should enjoy each other. So I remember I always had a lot of pain deep down in my soul because of this. And I remember that when I would go dancing with anything that was hurting me inside, any emotion, I would put it on the dance floor. And I discovered very young that dance also not only was something I enjoyed, but it became therapy. It became therapy to help me deal with all the problems that I had at home with my family. So a lot of times when I dance, I'm dancing what I've lived. I've lived through a lot of joy times and I've lived through a lot of sorrow. So what the people see is who I am by my life.
When did you start being interested in Pachanga?
Olga, the Pachanga hit New York in the 60s. One of the great pioneers and one of the big influences in the music of Pachanga was Pacheco. He recorded an album called Pacheco y su Charanga, which was such a hit. Just like Bang Bang for Joe Cuba, and I Like It Like That for Pete Rodriguez. There were certain numbers that became such hits. And I remember since I was 15 or 16 years old, I would see people dancing Pachanga to Pacheco's music and others, of course. And it was always, the music was very fun music because charanga music is fun. It's very happy music. So when I see people dancing with a lot of happiness, and so I took an interest very young to learn Pachanga. And I remember when I first had it in my mind, when I went to Italy with Melissa Rosado, I told Melissa, I said, Melissa, I want to introduce the Italians to Pachanga. And I remember when we went to Italy, we were in some club and we were doing a Pachanga routine, and everybody in the audience was looking at us like we came from another planet, you know? And so when we finished, Melissa said, Eddie, I don't think they liked it. I said, no, it's not that they didn't like it. They don't understand it because they haven't learned to do it. But I said to myself, I said, you know what, Melissa, I can almost guarantee you when they learn how to dance Pachanga, they're going to love it, as well as the Boogaloo, the Cha-Cha Boogaloo. So I went on a mission to introduce the Pachanga and the Boogaloo, especially in Italy. And as you know, today, you cannot go to Italy and not take or not see the teachers teaching Pachanga, dancing Pachanga, and loving the Pachanga. And I tell Melissa, I said, see, Melissa, didn't I tell you? I said, once they learned it, now they love it.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. What would you change in your life if you had a chance to go back to your past?
I would have to say, oh my God. I mean, I would love to have had a family that would have been like a happy family, mom and dad together. Again, I've been married. I got married very young. One of the things I think about is my personal life has not been a fairy tale. It's been, I've had very, very bad experiences in my personal life by my own choices. So I take responsibility. But if I had a chance to do it again, I would like to have if I would have met Maria at my youth, I would love to have married Maria, had all my children with one wife, and been able to feel that I've been able to raise my children as a father should or a mother should. And that's one of my regrets, because God only knows the story of my life, but that's the one part of my life that I regret. And I also regret not having my sister and my brother to share my life the way I would have loved to share it with them as a family.
And I would like to thank you for the sincere answers.
These kind of moments are very important. And the thing is, as much traveling as I've done, I never get a chance to sit down with people and make this kind of personal contact with them and share personal stories and get to know people in a personal way. So these platforms, although we're in a pandemic, I think are a blessing to many people, because they get to know the artist or the person in a more personable way, more intimate way. And so this is very good. So it's not for me a question of 1 or 2 hours. Like I said, I do this because I think it's a beautiful opportunity for people to get to know us in a personal way, and also for us to be able to share some of these amazing stories that we have lived.
Yes, and also everyone knows Eddie Torres all over the world, but they don't know me. And it's a great opportunity to people know what I've done, what I did, and who I am. And like I said before, I'm not just a Mambo Queen because I married Eddie Torres. I'm the Mambo Queen because what I did for the women in this dance, to open up avenues and open up doors for like women to be respected as dancers, choreographers, lady styling and all this stuff. But now to open doors for everyone to be respected. Because always, when you see Eddie Torres or any man, you're like, oh my God, but you don't realize that I share his passion. I share his world. I believed in his world, and I said, let's give it a try. Because remember, he was dancing 15 years before he met me, and he tried with different partners, different women, and I guess they didn't work. I wasn't there. But when I came along, I was 18 when I met him, and I said, let's give this a try. And when we connected, and while he's an artist and a genius, and many times, even to today, at 3 o'clock in the morning, he has an idea. He has a choreography, he has a costume idea. And he went, honey, wake up. And I have to get up, learn what he has in mind, and we teach it to him because he's in the zone. But to be honoring to share this with him as not only as an artist, as a genius who he is, but me as a woman to always have his back, always promote him, always push for him, always make his costume to inspire him. We have together 3 kids. We have Nadia, Margarita, and Emmanuel. He has other kids, but I make sure that as a family, we bring everybody else in because we are one. He is the father of many, and I tell him, you guys, the brothers and sisters, that we are together as one. And that's very important for us to pass it down to our children as well.
I want to share a moment with our daughter, Nadia.
Of course.
Right here.
Hello.
She's in her. Daddy, I'm not dressed. That's okay. I want the people to at least get a moment to say hello to her.
Yes.
Nadia, we know you've been dancing since 4 years. We already know.
Yes. And look at that face. She's 36, but she looks like a baby. Look at her. Look at her.
She didn't change from that video.
No. She has the same face from a baby. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank you, Olga. Anyway, go ahead. Give us your final question.
What is absolute happiness to you?
Well, it's funny, Olga, of everything that I've accomplished, everything I've done, when I travel around the world, I tell the people, I say, this is a gift from God, that who would have told me that I was born and raised in Spanish Harlem in New York from very poor parents and a very poor upbringing, that one day I would have this opportunity to travel around the world, meet people, share my passion for the dance, make new friends. But I tell people whenever I'm traveling, I says, you know what? They ask me, Eddie, when are you the most happiest? I said, I'm really the most happiest when I'm back home with my family, with my wife, with my children. And I'm a homebody. I'm a homebody. Now, especially now, I'm a junior senior citizen now, Olga.
Junior.
So at my age, when people ask me what do I love to do, I say I love to be home in my comfortable pajamas and being home with my wife and just spending time with them. And of course, this is not to say that I have not enjoyed every minute and every experience I've had, because now I have friends, and Maria and I, we both have friends from all over the world. So we both thank God very much for this gift of dance that has brought us so many great experiences in life. And now we have many friends because of it. So now it's a family. That's like you always hear me say when I'm talking to people, familia. We're a dance family. And I always like to encourage the people, say, listen, if you love your family, if you love your dance, be good to your family, respect and appreciate. And even though I know everything today has to do with competition and a lot of discussions whether the timing of one is better than the two, I tell people, you know what? That's all not really important. In 100 years from now, nobody's going to care at Olga whether you danced on one or two, whether you dance bachata or salsa. The main thing in life is take advantage of every day that you have, enjoy your life, and if you have friends, share your love for them, share your joy, and appreciate that you have friends or family. And because life is really short, especially now with this pandemic. Who would have told us that now we have lost so many thousands of people who also young and old, they had dreams, they have families, and that teaches us that life is not promised to nobody. We don't know about tomorrow. So I tell people today, hey, we're here today, enjoy your life, and don't take nothing for granted. And if you love somebody, tell them, let them know. And if you I'm an admirer of all the different dance forms and styles. And I say, listen, it's easy for me to criticize because that's what people do. They right away try to criticize if you don't do what they do. And I said, no. It's even nicer to respect and admire, because right now for me, variety is a beautiful thing. If everybody danced the same style, the same timing, for me, I think that would get a little boring after a while. But when I look around the world and I see all these different influences of different dance forms and dance styles and new dances that come on the scene, I say that's what makes life interesting. Variety. You dance on one, I dance on two. She dances bachata, we dance salsa. She dances samba, he dances kizomba. Beautiful.
Yes.
It's one big happy family, Olga.
Yes. And if you see all his choreography, he has a variety of different routines. That's how he always been. And in the beginning, back then, they would call us rebels. But Tito Puente was the one who supported us and told us, listen, when I go to Long Island for the American market, we dance Fiesta La King.
If we all knew that tomorrow was our last day on earth, we would probably say, hey, wait a minute. Before I leave, I want to tell my mother I love her. I want to tell my children I love them. And the thing is, since I'm one that I would rather appreciate different artists of dance forms as opposed to criticizing them, because I don't believe, first of all, I don't believe that makes God happy. I say, if you want to see God happy, is all his children learning to love and respect each other. I believe that's the way it was meant to be. But at the same time, like I said, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I've had this outlook on life that I realize, hey, I want to appreciate human beings. I want to appreciate, for example, when I see the Vasquez brothers, or I see Frankie, Franklin Diaz, when I see all these Adolfo, and I see all these great dancers around the world, Terry and Lucia and Ricardo and Karen and Tito and Tamara. These are all for me gifts from God to bring joy into our lives. So I look at them with eyes of love and eyes of appreciation, because I say, thank you, God, for these beautiful gifts that have brought so much joy to my life and to our lives. And that's the way I see life, So that's why, to me, life is not a big mystery. You know what I tell the students, Olga? I heard this one time from a very famous comedian. His name was Red Skelton on TV. And they asked him, I said, Red Skelton, you're always so happy and so happy-go-lucky. What is it about your life that makes you this way, that you always have a positive attitude, you're always happy with people? And he says, well, I realized a long time ago, he says, that he said, I realized a long time ago that I'm not going to get out of this life. I said, don't take your life so serious, because you're not going to get out of it alive anyway. He says, so like saying life is short, so don't take it so serious. Enjoy the journey of life. Try to enjoy so you can take good memories when you leave this earth. What we take is the memories of what we live, whether they're good memories or bad memories. So try to do things that make you happy, that you could take with you when you leave this earth, some good memories. So I love what he said, and that's what I tell people, and I tell my students, don't take your life so serious, because you're not going to get out of it alive anyway. So enjoy the journey of life and try to get along with everybody if possible.
Yes. Just like I tell, we look at each other and I said, honey, just yesterday, I was 18, you were like 27, and now I'm
life
60.
goes by quick.
I'm 60 and he's 70. What happened? We blink our eyes, and our kids are all adults. His youngest is 26. I'm like, really? What happened?
Time goes by quickly, Olga. You know that.
Yeah, I know that.
Olga, before we say goodbye,
I'm 41. I was 18, but I'm 41.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God! I told them.
We could trade ages right now. We'll take your 41. 41 is very young. Okay,
Yes.
so enjoy the youth, Olga.
Yes.
But before we say goodbye, we want to thank you, Olga. We want to compliment you. Keep doing this great work that you're doing, because I believe it's very important, especially now more than ever, that you would have this platform and this opportunity to let artists share their life with your people and with your platform. So thank you.
And may God bless you and your program, for everybody who helped you put this together.
Yes.
Because behind you, I know there's everybody else who help you work together.
Yeah, like Sergio. Thank you, Sergio.
Sergio, yes.
Sincere social talks. I would like, of course, to thank my team, my backup, my supportive team, Veronica, Vasily, and Sergio, my partner in crime.
Yes.
So-called, for helping, because without them, it wouldn't be possible to make all this beautiful picture on the screen.
This is what we give everybody, our love.
Yes.
Thank you, Olga.